What is happening, Boot Junkies? Mike Delgadio here, back with another video on home studio setup for voiceover. Sorry, a little hot in the booth. What is happening, Boot Junkies? Mike Delgadio here, back with another video on home studio setup for voiceover. Now, got two microphones in the booth, and this is sort of a redux from a few weeks ago. I had done a video about this microphone right here. This is the Apogee Mic 96K. And I had just made a video, and Apogee had just discontinued the microphone. And they had released the new version of it, which is called the Mic Plus. And very kindly, a fellow booth junkie out there, Chaz, thank you very much, Chaz. Thank you for sending me this microphone on loan. He loaned me his Mic Plus so that we could do a comparison to see if the sound has changed between Generation 1 and Generation 2 of this microphone, and to see if it addresses some of the primary complaints about this microphone. This 96K, this is my microphone. But I confess that I don't actually use it that much because it has some pretty significant shortcomings that sort of prevented me from using it in a way that I needed to use it. And then I was hoping that the Mic Plus would address those things. And we're going to see if it does. So, Mike, what were these complaints? Here's a couple of issues with this microphone that kept me from using it and enjoying it and really liking it. The first one, and the most important one for me as a user of the microphone, is it lacked a headphone jack. Most USB microphones, they also double as a sound card, and so they'll have a headphone jack in it. So if you want to listen back to what you're recording, it will come back through the headphones. The Mic 96K doesn't have that. You had to use the sound card or some other way to listen back to what you were recording. Now, what I found, and maybe it was fixable, but I never figured out how in all the times I tried, I could never get the latency, the difference between when I was talking and what I was hearing. I could never get that down to an acceptable limit. I'm willing to deal with a little tiny bit of delay between what I'm saying and what I'm hearing. But this was always like a measurable fraction of a second. We're not talking milliseconds. It was always like a quarter second or something like that. So it always sounded like there was an echo in your ears, in my ears. So that made it difficult to deliver. When there's a delay in your ears, it tends to affect the way you deliver, unless you really get practiced at ignoring that. You see singers on stage are always pulling their monitors out of their ears. Often that's because it's either too loud or there's a delay and it throws their timing off. I find that when I'm recording, I want it to be super low latency. I want to hear it back. No headphone jack in this one. On the Mic Plus, well, I'm going to do that a lot. On the Mic Plus, they have added a headphone jack. So these headphones right here, I'm listening to the mic. And it's got a little switch on the front that's a blending switch. So as you press it, there's a 3 settings. So I can either turn off the headphones, I can have a blend of playback from the computer and the microphone, or I can sway it much more towards just hearing the microphone. A little switch on the front, that's a blending switch. So that I was very happy to see, because now you can use this as a device. You can hear yourself as you're recording. And for a voice actor, for me, that's really, really important. So number one complaint addressed. Very nice. The second complaint that I had with the Mic 96K was its connector. Now, it's a USB microphone, but on the bottom of the 96K, it's actually a proprietary connector. That sort of, it's a nice durable connector, a nice, positive click connector. And on the other end is a USB jack, but I don't know what kind of connector that is. So if I break this cable, I have to go back to Apogee and buy one. If this cable isn't long enough, I have to get an extension for the USB, a repeater. I just want a USB cable for my USB microphone. The Plus does have on the bottom a micro USB. But what they give you in the box, they give you a couple of other cables. So there's also a USB micro to USB-C, and there's also a USB micro to Lightning connector. Super handy. So this microphone can be plugged easily into your iPhone. It can be plugged in easily to your MacBook Pro or your USB-C device, your Android, like your Galaxy phones, anything with a USB-C, you'll be able to plug this microphone, or into your old school USB. When you think of USB, the USB connector. So it does provide a number of somewhat short cables, but I think these are more readily attainable. Certainly, the regular USB USB micro to USB-A. That's there. That's really easy. That's what probably comes with many of your phones. Now, the other ones, the USB micro to C and USB micro to Lightning, presumably you can get those in aftermarket. I presume. I don't know. Never really shopped for them, but I presume that you can get them somewhat more easily on Amazon. So those are two really good improvements. One thing that I wish they would have changed from the 96K to the mic, they didn't change. On the one hand, it's super convenient, and that is the way the microphones are mounted. And they are mounted not with a traditional a microphone stand size adapter. They're actually more towards a camera tripod. So if you've got a selfie stick or a Gorilla Pod, or what they give you is these little tripods, but it comes with essentially just a 1/4" 20 mounting nut on the back so that the bolt from any tripod will go into it. That, on the one hand, is very convenient, but it also means that it's going to be rigidly mounted to the microphone stand. So if I touch the microphone stand on either one of these, it tends to, so I'm touching the microphone stand base, it tends to have sound get transmitted up through the rigid connection into the microphone, called being microphonic. And I wish they would have made it so that there was actually a little bit of a shock mount that had a 1/4" 20 adapter, or a microphone threaded adapter, or any of the sizes. I would certainly have preferred a shock mount, because this cable, sometimes touching the cable or touching the USB cable inadvertently, can transmit sound into the microphone, and I'd really like to decouple that with a shock mount in some way, if I could have. The microphone, it doesn't seem to be too bad from a cable perspective, but certainly, touching the stand, I don't want that sound getting into the mic if I can help it. Now, sound-wise, I was always happy with the 96K. I thought it sounded great, and I think that carries over to the Mic Plus. I think they still have that great sound, and I think Apogee, as far as the quality of their microphones, the quality of their converters and interface. I'm a fan of Apogee. I think the stuff they make is great. I think what they were going after with these microphones is a little bit different, but I've always been happy with the sound of both of these microphones. There is one other thing that I think got worse from the 96K to the Mic Plus. Now, and this is a small thing, but I do find that I'm less enthused about it. On the mic 96K, there is a gain knob on the side, and it's just a standard potentiometer. When you turn the gain up, it comes to an end. And when you turn it down, it comes to an end. It's a fixed range. That way I can go, I'm up, all the way up, and then I'm going to back it down a little. It helps me get back to where I was if I need to try and reset the gain to where it was. On the Mic Plus, they changed it to a knob on the front that's just infinite, like the tuning knob on your car radio. It just spins and spins and spins and spins, and they added 3 LEDs to the front for low gain, mid gain, and high gain, but you can't really dial that in with any precision, so you have to kind of rely on it. I would have much preferred to just stick with your standard knob that's got a max and a min, not this LED thing. I don't know, that's small, but it does make it hard to go back and reset your gain if you mess with it from setting to setting. Hard to go back. With this one, you could at least say, I'm going to push it all the way to the top and then take it back an amount that you can figure out. I don't know. They did change one thing on the user interface. So on the Mic 96K, there is a single LED that glows. It's a light green or dim green when there's no sound. And then as you talk into it, it turns bright green. And as you start to get too loud for the microphone, it switches to yellow. And then when the microphone clips, it turns to red. On the Mic Plus, they reuse those same 3 LEDs that show what your blend mode is, what your gain mode is. It turns into a little bit of a meter. So you'll get 1, 2, or 3 green LEDs. And then as it gets louder, those LEDs will turn yellow and then they'll turn red if you clip. So it still keeps the same visual. It's just that it's got 3 LEDs and they act a little bit as a meter rather than just as a single indicator. They are a little bit brighter. I can see what's happening on the Mic Plus a little bit better than on the 96K. They're a little bit brighter, and that motion allows me to be concentrating on my script, but still see what my meter is doing here. So I'll know if I'm clipping. It's a little bit harder to see through whatever it is about the single LED, the fact that it doesn't move as much. It's a little bit harder to see the built-in meter, especially when I'm trying to look past it at the camera or at a script or something like that. Other than that, the form factor stays essentially the same. Dimensionally, they're virtually identical. I mean, I think there maybe is a 1/4 inch difference in height. There's 2 very small microphones, really lightweight, easy to carry, but they feel durably made. I've been really super happy with the sound. You'll hear it go back and forth. Not a huge difference in sound, I don't think, between the two. You may hear it a little bit differently. I do find from the comments in my videos that people definitely do hear differences that I don't when I do microphones side by side. They hear things differently than I do. There are no absolutes in sound, so you'll be able to hear the difference between them. But overall, I think as far as USB mics, I think the Apogees are really solid, and I think the Mic Plus is really solid for the price, which is, sad to say, a bit on the expensive side. Let's pull up Amazon. It's an expensive microphone, $249. I think that's the same thing that I paid for the Mic 96K. Now, Apogee stuff tends to be a little bit more on the premium side, but $250 is not an inconsequential amount to pay for a microphone, especially the USB microphone. Because if it's your only microphone at $249, if you do decide you need to upgrade something later, you got to throw this whole microphone away. If you want an interface, you want to switch microphones, this has both components in it. So if you want to upgrade one, you got to throw the whole thing away and start over. So you sort of make the investment twice. So does that help? I hope so. I was really excited to get the chance to compare these, and I'm really grateful to Chaz for sending it to me so I could compare it to mine. That's all I got for you today. I hope that helps. Now, go get yourself a microphone, a USB microphone, maybe a USB microphone that actually has a headphone jack in it. But get yourself a microphone and get out there and record something amazing. Thanks. We'll talk to you next time.